Hello and welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking. Today I want to challenge you on 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 20. So I'll read it and we'll get right into this week's challenge. Brothers and sisters, stop thinking like children. In regard to evil, be infants, but in your thinking, be adults. I think this is a good reminder for us, this verse, of how we should use the minds that God has given us on a daily basis, that we need to make sure we are thinking like adults. If we're adults, we probably should use our minds to think like adults. It's a pretty simple reminder, but it's something that the Apostle Paul felt strongly about when he was writing to the Corinthians, and so it's something that we should look at and realize that we need to apply it as well. We need to make sure that we are thinking properly, and that comes with a heavenward thinking perspective when we are using our minds to focus on the things of heaven, to focus on what God says about certain things, and to clearly think through things with the reasoning that God has given us, the ability He's given us to think through things. We need to make sure that we are not using our minds to be obsessed with evil. That in here he says, in regard to evil, be infants. It's not something that we should be super interested in. We should not be interested in evil things. We shouldn't be super knowledgeable of those things. We should instead be using our minds to think through things clearly that are important. And that is living our lives differently than the world around us, living on track, on mission for Jesus, and clearly following His word. It's easy for us to not think clearly when we want to just do something, or we want things to make sense to us, and we don't use the minds that God has given us to clearly reason through things. We just go with whatever people tell us or whatever we want on a certain thing. But Paul reminds us here that we need to think like adults. We need to think through things carefully. We need to make sure that we are thinking through things in a godly way and not just jump into conclusions about things. That's my challenge for you this week, and I hope you'll join us next time for another episode of 2 Minutes with Tim here on Heavenward Thinking.